Welcome to another production of ParkTV 16 Sports on location. Tonight we are at the Haven Center on the beautiful campus of Benilde-St. Margaret's, bringing you boys volleyball sanctioned event featuring Eagan, the Wildcats out of the Suburban South Conference, taking on the Benilde-St. Margaret's / Blake Red Knights. This is their second game in the inaugural season. We were here with you for their first ever in history back on Thursday, March 27th, when they lost to Lakeville 3-0. It's a best of 5, play to 25 for each game, except for game number 5, which I believe is half of that, if they get that far. But there is the home crowd for Benilde-St. Margaret's. Nice handful of folks here on hand. On the left, you can see the blue fans from Eagan, south of the river. And right now we are negotiating who's going to be in the starting lineup here for the Red Knights. So far it looks like the back row is number 1, Linus Struey. Also number 2, Leo Kangas. Both of those guys are seniors, along with number 9, Zach Kidd. I watched him in warm-ups. He's their primary setter. Front line for the Red Knights includes number 7, Cameron Lee, the junior captain, number 20, Ian Fitzgerald, also a senior, and number 12, or number 10, I should say, Benjamin Terry. All right, back to serve. The Red Knights will kick it off. That is number 9, Zach Kidd, the sophomore, and we're still checking out the court, making sure there's no obstacles. Looks like there was a couple water bottles there where number 13 for the Red Knights took care of that. That's Olin Ron, sophomore, on the bench there. And now the referee is going to come over to the far side. There's a camera person behind the Eagan squad, and the referee has walked all the way over there to usher him farther away. And now the photographer, if we can get him over there, is now up against the back wall, and the referee seems comfortable with that as he makes his way back to his post. And there is number 9, Zach Kidd. We're finally underway. Game 1, best of 5. I'm Robert Christensen. You're watching ParkTV 16 Sports. We're streaming live on YouTube, and that first serve is in by Kidd. The return by Eagan, and now back across to Eagan. The hit there was by Zachary Rosas, the junior, now across the net by number 20, Fitzgerald. Good rally here to start, and the kill shot from that far left side by number 9, Drew Jalen, the sophomore outside hitter, gives the first point to the visiting Eagan Wildcats, and there's the nice set by number 30, Zachary Roxas, and he beats Kangas as he goes down to his left. So now the serve will return to the Eagan Wildcats. That is number 8, Derek Liverseed, the junior, gets that serve in with a lot of power. Now playing defense was Benjamin Terry, and we're going to have a double hit on Terry. And the point will go to Eagan, and they lead 2-0. And back again to serve will be Derek Liverseed, the junior. There he is. And the jump serve by Liverseed into the net it goes. He looks to the coach for some help, and that'll give the Red Knights their first point. And they're down 2-1. Back to serve for Benilde is number 20. That's Ian Fitzgerald, the senior. Gets it into the back row, bumped there by Dylan Punzel, and it gets tipped over at the net. Point to Eagan. And they're now up 3-1 as they take the serve right back from the Red Knights. And there's that replay. Nice body control by number 24. That was Gus Eigner, just an 8th grader out there, and was able just to tap that ball enough and prevent himself from running into the net, which would have been an infraction and nullified the point. Now the jump serve by number 13 was Punzel, and a nice play off the net by the front row for the Red Knights. Now the set, and it's not going to make it over. Point to the Red Knights. Good defense as they were there at the net to meet any possible kill shot, but the set wasn't really on the mark for Eagan, which results in the point for the Red Knights. Now back to serve for Benilde, the big, tall junior captain, Cameron Lee, the junior. And he does a set serve to the back row. Punzel with the bump. Now it gets kicked back, and from deep in his own zone was number 9 for Eagan, Jalen, unable to control that kill shot as he sent it wide, and that ties the score up at 3. The Red Knights looking for their first game win in history, and they're tied 3-3, and now that shot taken from the middle row by number 8, Derek Liverseed, brings the power. And the back row for the Red Knights unable to handle that, and that will give Eagan the serve and the lead at 4-3 in game 1. They play to the best of 25, or up to 25. First one there gets the win. Now the set and the kill shot by Terry. Back row for Eagan, and now the 8th grader, number 24, Eigner, as his shot sails long, and or no, it goes in, excuse me, I was looking down, and the point will go to Eagan on that kill shot by Eigner. And now back to serve for Eagan is number 9, Drew Jellin, and a nice save by Linus Struwe as he goes to his knees. He's got those knee pads, he used them well. But again, Eagan gains another point, and they've doubled their lead, 6-3 here in game 1. Back to serve, number 9, Drew Jellin, the sophomore, going for his 2nd consecutive point with the serve. Back row by Struwe, nice job, and now they'll play defense. The set to the far side. Eigner couldn't quite get it where he wanted to, and it was hit back by the Red Knights. Now the kill shot by number 30, Zachary Roxas. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. R-O-X-A-S, Roxas? I've never quite seen that. But he gets a nice kill shot, number 30, getting some vertical elevation to get that point to go on a 7-3 lead. And at the net, Eigner does not touch the net, and now the Red Knights are confused. Point goes to Eagan, and some confusion on the Red Knights side there gives a 5-point lead. And now a timeout on the court taken by Coach Michael Becker, as he has seen enough here early in a 1-minute timeout. Will give us a chance to look at the home crowd there watching this first year of sanctioned volleyball. I don't know if the Red Knights had a intramural squad. I know there was sort of a unsanctioned league of boys volleyball for the last several years as they've been ramping up their lobbying efforts to get the Minnesota State High School League to sanction. And last year they finally were sanctioned, and this is the first official season of boys volleyball in the state of Minnesota. And there's Coach Michael Becker. He is also the coach of the girls volleyball team, so it makes sense that he would be the inaugural coach for the boys. And as I've been thinking about it, you know, most of these boys have not grown up playing volleyball, so it's very much a new sport. So there's going to be some growing pains all along the way, and right now the Red Knights are down 8-3 as Eagan will now come out of the timeout with, again, serving Drew Jellin, going for his 3rd consecutive point from the service line. And now Kangas with the shot, gets it over. The bump by Punzel, and the kill shot by Eigner, the 8th grader, showing some talent there on the front row. Number 24 again gets the bump from over the head and puts it right in his wheelhouse, and the block attempt at the front line by the Red Knights, unsuccessful, gives Eagan a 6-point lead, and now that almost handcuffs Struwe, but he's able to manage it, and now Eagan needs to get it back over, and they do. Back row for the Red Knights, the set, and the kill shot by number 10, Terry. Now Eigner gives the kill shot, Struwe with the bump, and the set, and Kangas tries to dunk it over, and a save by Eagan. Now the Red Knights get a chance. Near side, Kangas with the kill shot, goes deep row, and Liverseed there to stop it. And Eigner with another kill shot, and that goes out. Point to the Red Knights following the best rally of the evening as they gain their 4th point and the serve. But a nice run by Eagan and number 9, specifically from the service line, Drew Jellin, the sophomore. And now that serve into the net results in another point for Eagan, and they're now at 10, 6-point lead. Back to serve the 8th grader, the starter, Gus Eigner. So far, the most valuable player on the court tonight for either team. scoring several kill shots and a nice serve tightly over the net. Now Kangas from the back row, and the kill shot goes for Kangas, and that was the best point of the night for the Red Knights. A nice bump and a set, and there's Kangas delivering the kill shot. Look at that nice set by number 9, Zach Kidd. He was working on it during warm-ups. He's their go-to setter. And as I've often commented on broadcasting girls high school volleyball, that set is all important. And there's a set to Liverseed, and he delivers the kill shot from that favored inside-out left front position for the right-hander. Gives them all kinds of options how they can strike that ball off different angles. And here's the set by number 9, Jalen to Liverseed. Splits the defense, and now the serve by number 3. That is Sawyer Paquette, the junior outside hitter. Gets the serve in. Now Eigner with the bump. The set by Jelen to the near side. The kill shot stopped by Struy by the Red Knights. Now hit over by Ian Fitzgerald. Now Eigner to Jalen, back to Eigner, and into the net, and it just barely goes over the net, and the Red Knights unable to handle it. Results in point number 12. And here is Eigner. Will get the return set from Jelen. It just finds the right trajectory. Now the serve by number 9 for Eagan. Now to Liverseed, the kill shot, and that is just out. Boy, that was close. Oh, Kangas looking very enthused by that near miss. But here's Liverseed. He's a big, tall kid, and look at the power. And boy, yeah, that was just out there. The question is whether it maybe had grazed Kangas. There's Kangas, and now Struy back to serve for the Red Knights. Linus Struy, the senior. Now Liverseed again with the big angle, and fighting it off is number 20, Ian Fitzgerald, the senior. Almost purely defensive as Liverseed, and I don't know how tall that young lad is, but he's got to be 6'5" out there. Look at him just back up, get the power ready, and now watch there defensively. I think he took it off his forehead for the point. Point of the night off the forehead. Meanwhile, Eagan gets their 13th point from the serve by number 30. That is Zachary Rojas. Serve for the Bobcats, number 30 is Zachary Rojas. Rojas is how they're pronouncing that. And that's a jump serve, and that sails long. 8th point to the Red Knights. They're still in this, down 5, starting to creep back, and now back to serve for Benilde is number 9, Zach Kidd. Also substituting in for the Red Knights just now, Benjamin Terry will step in for Sebastian Proudlock. And now that is Kidd with the serve. Back row, and it's in as Eagan, number 13, Dylan Punzel, decided to let it go at the last minute, thinking it was going to go out, and there it's clearly on the replay. Very much in on the line, and now back to serve, down 4, and a comeback in the making for the Red Knights. That serve is in, blocked at the net. Now Struy ahead, and they do save it over. Now Eagan struggles as both Eigner and number 13, Punzel, run into each other, and that results in point number 10 for the Red Knights, and they are on the comeback trail here. Now Zach Kidd, big smile there. Able to reel off several points on his serve, and now to the near side, blocked at the net, and we got a net infraction violation on number 7 for Benilde. Cameron Lee just into the net a little bit right there. Otherwise, it would have been a point for the Red Knights. Good run there by Zach Kidd, and Liverseed with a big jump serve with a lot of power, and the back row, the Red Knights able to handle that amazingly. Now the set to the near side, Jelen tips it over, and a chance with a good set here by Kidd. And now it's back over. Red Knights got to get it over. Kangas with the right arm able to save it. Now to Eigner in that favored position, and he does bring it. Number 8, Gus Eigner delivers on the kill shot, and a nice set there by number 30, Rosas. And the front line block unsuccessful for the Red Knights. 15-5 our score. Big, powerful jump serve attempted again by Derek Liverseed into the net. Point 11 for the Red Knights, and they gain the service. And back to serve will be number 20, Ian Fitzgerald. As he takes the middle of the court, goes long with it, and this time, number 13, Punzel, the senior, wisely lets it go long, and now the Eagan Wildcats are 9 points from the victory in game 1. They're up by 5, and back to serve is number 13, Dylan Punzel, the senior, and he gets that one to go as the back row for the Red Knights struggle on that one. And there is number 13, Dylan Punzel, and now another timeout taken by the Red Knights, a 1-minute timeout, as Coach Michael Becker wants to talk it over as he sees a 6-point deficit with only 8 points to go for Eagan. And if there's a time for the Red Knights to rally here in game 1, it would be now. And there is Coach Michael Becker trying to mold this team in their inaugural season. As I indicated at the outset, the Red Knights were swept by Lakeville South, also out of the Suburban South Conference, as are the Eagan Wildcats, 3-0. So they're looking for not only their first win as a match, winning best of 5, but winning their first game even within a match is still a milestone they are striving to reach. And right now they are behind in their first attempt in their second match ever. And a chance to remind you that that right there is Dylan Punzel, and you are watching ParkTV 16 Sports. We're streaming live on YouTube. Again, I'm Robert Christensen. Glad you're with us. And now the jump serve by Punzel. Back row, handled by Fitzgerald. Now to the near side. Kangas takes a little bit off that to the back row. Now Rojas, and no one there he was giving it to. He did set it up, but not to anyone in particular. And so the confusion and lack of communication results in point number 12 for the Red Knights. So following that timeout, a good start for the Red Knights. And now back to serve their captain, number 7, Cameron Lee. And he gets that in, and Eigner unable to handle that. And now the Red Knights have point number 13. They've cut the deficit to 4. And so this is exactly what Coach Michael Becker and the doctor ordered up here. Now going for his 3rd consecutive service point, Cameron Lee, the captain. But Eigner's got an excellent opportunity. Fitzgerald able to fight that off, and the Red Knights live for another moment in this point. Now to the near side, Jellin with the kill shot into the net. Point to the Red Knights, and now they're within 3, 17-14. And following that timeout, Michael Becker has resulted in 4 consecutive points for the Red Knights. As there's Eigner. You can tell he's got volleyball player written all over him. Just the way he is playing out there, you can tell he has had some training and has had some experience. Only as an 8th grader. Now he gets that to go. And that's what I was talking about earlier on the broadcast, about how you can use your hand. And look how he goes right off that right outside. I think that was on purpose. It certainly looked like it at the beginning and on that replays, because he was looking right where he saw and felt where they were weak on the defense, and he was able to get the ball to go there. Sort of like a change-up in baseball, right? He took some little something off of it and found the open space. All right, meanwhile, another point for Eagan, and they are now 6 from the victory with a 5-point lead. And that one goes long for number 9, Drew Jellin, the sophomore outside hitter. And the Red Knights now have 15 points. They're within 4. Back to serve, number 10. For Benilde, Benjamin Terry, the senior, and that one's good. Oh, I was gonna go long, but Liverseed couldn't resist. Eigner now tips it to the back row. Now Struy, and it's gotta go over here, and it's successful by Zach Kidd. And now a little miscommunication in the center of the defense of the Eagan Wildcats, and the Red Knights now creep back within 3 with 6 to go for Eagan. And back to serve for his second opportunity is Benjamin Terry. That one is for sure in, and Liverseed mishandles that. And now it's 19-17, and we've got some drama brewing here late in game 1. And now again to serve, and on a run here is Benjamin Terry. The lefty senior gets that one. He picks on Liverseed again. Now Eigner with the good kill shot, and that was in right along the line. Let's look at the replay. Look at Eigner. He's just very comfortable, very balanced, and Struy lets that go, and that's clearly in. And now the Red Knights have their ace, the 8th grader, Eigner. 5 from the victory. Nice bump in the back row. Now Kidd, Kangas blocked at the net beautifully, but they recover as well, and now hit over by number 8, Proudlock. And now near side chance for Rojas. He tips it and finds the soft spot in the middle of the zone defense by the Red Knights, resulting in point number 21. And here is the Jelen assist to the near side, and he just saw that wide open space. And the Red Knights were slow to cover it. And now the ensuing serve goes long for Eagan, and they are 4 from the victory with a 3-point lead. And Kangas back to serve, trying to pull this out for the Red Knights late, and that goes out wide, unforced error by Kangas. Gives a precious point to Eagan right here, as this time Liverseed let that go. He learned his lesson from not letting one go earlier when Terry was serving for the Red Knights. But right now, back to serve, number 3, Sawyer Paquette. Near side, kill shot by Fitzgerald, sails long. And Eagan now 2 points from the victory in game 1. Nice looking kill shot, just sailed on number 20, Ian Fitzgerald, the senior. Now again to serve Paquette. Struy with a nice bump, Zach, assist, kill shot, back row, Jelen. Now the bump ahead, the Liverseed gets tipped at the net and out of bounds. Point's gonna go to Eagan, and they are looking at game point. Seemed to be some sort of discussion of whether there was a net violation on Eagan, but the point was awarded to Sawyer Paquette, and now he's got game point on his wrist right here with a 6-point lead. Struy, nice bump. Kidd to the near side. Fitzgerald, kill shot. Tipped at the net. Now Jelen to the far side to the big Liverseed. Blocked at the net. A nice block at the front row by the Red Knights. Now Rosas has to play defense. Struy to Kidd. Back to Kangas in the back row. Steps up with a kill shot. Eigner was there. Now the kill shot, and Kangas rejects it right back with maybe the most dramatic shot of the night. Eigner now goes long, and the Red Knights stave off their first game point. Wow, what a Liverseed to Kangas, gave it right back to him, used his power, and in the end that ended up with a game-saving point. But again, game point again now for Eagan. Back to serve, that is Zach Kidd. And Struy now, now Struy's gonna be to serve. There was some confusion about who was up next, and that is number 1, Linus Struy, the senior. And just barely gets it over the net, but well executed. Now at the net, pushed right back. Struy steps up with a nice bump. He's played well from that back row. Now it's Gerald, and we got a violation on Eagan. Point to the Red Knights, and they're within 4 as they stave off game point number 2. They've got to do it 4 more times to get to a tie. There's Struy. Gets that serve in and out of bounds, and Eagan now allowing these Red Knights at home to creep right back into it. They're within 3. And the senior Linus Struy also on a roll, just gets that to bend over the net. And advantage Red Knights, and the front row mistimed their jump, and there was no one behind as Struy made a valiant effort, and that is point number 25 for the Eagan Wildcats. And so after 1 game complete, they lead the best of 5, 1-0. You're watching ParkTV 16 Sports as we step aside.
Social Security is with you through life's journey from birth to retirement. As your life changes year to year, so do your needs. For over 80 years, Social Security has helped to meet your needs and is committed to improving access to the services that make a difference in your life. Today, you can verify your earnings, estimate your future benefits, apply for retirement, manage your benefits, and even change your address, all from the comfort of your home. Social Security's online services help put you in control with secure access to your information anytime, anywhere, allowing you to spend more time with family, friends, or simply just enjoying the day. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. See what you can do online at socialsecurity.gov.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Welcome back to ParkTV 16 Sports production of boys sanctioned volleyball action. The Red Knights of Benilde-St. Margaret's taking on the Eagan Wildcats, and after one game of our best of 5, Eagan got the best of the Red Knights 25-21. We're about to begin game number 2. And now a little bit of confusion. Now Struy is going to check in after they came off the bench for number 6. Jackson Jacoby, the freshman. So we've got 6 aside. The referee making sure. There he is in the foreground there. He grabs a volleyball and he's gonna roll it over to number 30. That is Zachary Rojas, the junior outside hitter. He'll lead it off on the service for the South Suburban Conference Eagan Wildcats. They're 1-0 on the year. Red Knights are 0-1, looking for their first match win and game win as Kangas delivers huge from the outside. I've got to tell you, he's not the tallest guy on the team, but he really has a number 2 right there. A wicked, strong kill shot, especially from the back row. He's able to get that trajectory with power. And now the Red Knights have a 2-0 lead. So better start here in game 2, and back to serve will be number 9. Zach Kidd, the sophomore, designated setter on the team. Gets a strong serve in. Now there's his set by Zach Kidd. Tipped at the net, and Struy unable to handle it. Quite wasn't in the ready position here, but here's Zach Kidd to the near side. I'd like to have seen Fitzgerald do a little more with that, but a nice front row blocked by Liverseed catches Struy and the Red Knights off guard, and our score now in game 2, 2-1. Back to serve for Eagan, Derek Liverseed. Kangas able to handle that. Power by Liverseed, and the Red Knights get it back over. Now to the near side, Jellin with the kill shot. Blocked by Terry. Now the kill shot attempt by Fitzgerald. Unable to find the sweet spot on his wrist. He looks like he's got a big hammer there, but just unable to get, just his wrist isn't strong. I mean, he needs to almost make his arm a little bit stronger there, just a little bit of technique. He certainly has the coordination and the ability and the strength. Maybe strengthen that arm up a little bit, tighten it up, turn it into more of a club like a bat, and then have at that ball. There he gets the serve in though, as his team leads 3-2. Now Eigner gets that, tipped by Kangas. Struy saves it, and the Red Knights are in business here. Now here comes Rojas with the kill shot, blocked at the net by number 7, Lee and Kangas. Great defensive ability. Now Terry with the kill shot. Eagan able to save that. A nice rally, Kangas with the bump. Now the return from Kidd, and he goes with the left hand, dinks it along the front line of Eagan. They weren't ready for it, and there is an enthusiastic Red Knight team. Kangas, he backs up, and there was no doubt, and then he does the little dink shot, as I like to call it. Little fake out job there, and a nice serve by Fitzgerald. He's got that serve down, though, for sure. Now Kangas tries to find the soft spot, and he does again. And now Red Knights up 5-2. And now back to serve, Ian Fitzgerald also on a roll, and that's a pattern I've seen with these Red Knights on the service line. Several of their players have gone on mini runs here of 3 or more points. Now, nice bump by Fitzgerald. Going the other way, Struy's got to save it, and he does. Now back to Eigner. He can make something happen, and he does. He took a little something off that and allowed Benilde to mischime right there. It's a big technique in volleyball at that front, especially if you think they've got a block on. Just to tip it over their outstretched hands for the point. Now back to serve, down 5-3. Is number 13, Dylan Punzel, and he gets point number 4. And now Eagan within 1 here in game 2. They lead 1-0 in the best of 5. And again, back to serve, Dylan Punzel, the senior. As he looks up to the ceiling. And that one just gets over the net, and Kangas can't quite handle it. Looked like it handcuffed him a little bit. That ball came just barely over the net. And for Kangas, that can be a little bit hard to decipher. And it did catch him a bit off guard, and now we're tied at 5, and back to serve again. Punzel, back row. Fitzgerald, Kangas with the bump set to Terry, and that was perfectly placed by Kangas. He really put it in the wheelhouse here, and that's a tough shot right there. Look at that. Perfectly balanced, and Terry able to find the soft spot in the defensive zone. Gives the lead back to the Red Knights, 6-5. Now Struy back to serve. You can hear the slap all the way up the top of the rafters. And a nice tip in by the 8th grader, Eigner. Eludes the diving defense by the Red Knights. And here is the nice set by Rojas to Eigner. And again, he goes for that soft dink shot, and the diving Fitzgerald can't quite get there in time, and we're tied at 6. Now Struy, back row bump, ahead to Zap. Kangas dinks it over. Now back in the corner by Punzel. Eigner looks for the soft spot. The diving kid able to save it. Now Eagan plays defense. Back row to Fitzgerald. Now Kidd. And the kill shot by number 6, Jacoby, and he scores as he gets congratulations in the front row. That was Jackson Jacoby, the freshman, and he's also one of the taller lads out there, using his athleticism and height to get that kill shot, and he had some power on that one, didn't he? Now Punzel comes up with the bump. Now Jalen to the far side to Eigner, goes for the far side. And Fitzgerald was able to get his hands on it, but wasn't able to do enough with it for a second shot to occur. And now we're tied at 7 in a much more tightly contested game 2 here, as we're tied at 7 in this best of 5. Benilde looking for their first game win of their entire history. Here in game 2, Struy able to handle Eigner's diving serve, and Kangas finds, oh, I thought that was in. And the point is gonna go to Eagan. Boy, I thought that was in when I first looked at it. But the referee, the linesman at the back row, saw it differently. And now the 8th grade phenom, Eigner, to serve again. And that one sails on him, and that ties it back up at 8 here in game 2. And the serve will go back to the Red Knights. There were 3 timeouts in game 1. I think they were all taken by the Red Knights, or at least 2 of the 3. And now back to serve. There he is, Leo Kangas, the senior captain. Clearly a leader on this team. Gets that serve in. Eigner will have to play defense, and he was backing up. He didn't really have a solid foundation on which to hit the ball, and it cost him, and gives the Red Knights a 1-point margin lead. And Kangas back to serve for his second. And he occupies this near left side, which is an unusual service position. And he had power on that, and the dink shot, and that's going to go out of bounds. And another point for Kangas and the Red Knights, and they've got a 2-point lead, their largest of the night, or matches their largest of the night here in game 2. Kangas, a jump serve himself. And here he does it again. This time he catches the top tape of the net, gives the point back to Eagan. And we've got an exciting game 2 here, 10-9 Red Knights. Now the serve back in Eagan's hands. That is Sawyer Paquette, the junior, number 3 to serve. You see in the foreground, that's Coach Luke Lopez for the Wildcats. And that's a serve, and now into the net was Kidd. Point automatically goes to Eagan, and we're tied at 10 with 15 to go till one of these teams reaches 25. And to the spoils, to the victor will go the win. That serve in, Struy with a nice bump. Now the kill shot by Fitzgerald. Kind of a mistimed jump there. Certainly enthusiastic. And now the lead is back with Eagan at 11-10. Back to serve for his second consecutive point, Sawyer Paquette. Takes something off that. Kangas calls it. Now the return to Kangas. He goes to the back corner. Can't quite catch it as it sailed on him, and now Eagan has a 2-point lead at 12-10. And now going for his third consecutive point on serve, Sawyer Paquette, number 3 for Eagan with the jump serve. Back row, Struy to Kidd, to the near, and the kill shot attempt by Jacoby, saved by Eagan. Now Liverseed will go long. Kangas saves it from the back row. Now Kidd to Fitzgerald. He'll bump it to the back row of Eagan. Now Jensen. Back row to Eigner with the kill shot, tipped at the net by Benilde, and the point will go to Eagan, and now they've got a 3-point lead. Right here, that's Jelen, and he goes right back to Eigner. He's their designated kill shot along with Liverseed. And now there's Paquette going for number 4 in a row and a 4-point lead. Struy with the bump, now Kidd. Set ahead to Fitzgerald, and that was his best kill shot of the night. Will it result in a point? As it will, as Rojas invades the neutral zone. The point will go to the Red Knights, and a great kill shot by that man right there, number 20, Ian Fitzgerald, the senior, starting to find his range here. This was his best looking kill shot right there as he catches it with a nice downward angle. And now the ensuing serve and an unforced error by the Red Knights gives the serve back to Eagan and their 14th point. And now back to serve for Eagan, number 30, Zachary Rojas, the junior, with a jump serve himself to the back row, Kangas. Now Kidd to the near side, Fitzgerald, and he finds another one. That's 2 in a row for number 20, Ian Fitzgerald. And he is starting out finding his range here. This is only their second sanctioned game in history, and you're watching some improvement right there before your eyes by Ian Fitzgerald. His team down 2, 14-12, and back to serve number 9, Zach Kidd, the sophomore. Back row to Eigner. Now Rojas to the near side. Jelen tries to tip it. Fitzgerald gets the save, and they do get it over by number 7, Lee. What an amazing save. Now they go to the back row. Kangas gets it, Struy, and they dive. And not quite getting there was Benjamin Terry. And now Eagan is at 15. They're 10 from the win in game 2 with a 3-point lead, and they have the serve. And back to serve, number 8, that is Derek Liverseed, the junior. He'll take that far side. Struy comes up to fill the gap. Now Fitzgerald looking for another kill shot, able to get that in, looking much better. And now it's tipped at the net. Off the Red Knights, point to Eagan and a 4-point lead here in game 2. They're 9 from the victory. And that is number 8, Derek Liverseed, maybe the tallest kid on the floor. Near side, Terry with the left-handed dink shot. Cameron Lee just gets that to climb the net and over. Number 7, Cameron Lee. I don't think he knows how he did that himself, but he did do it. Great instincts right there. Just put enough on it to touch the top of the net and cause number 30, Rojas, to mistime his jump, and a point for the Red Knights. They're down 3. Tipped at the net. Fitzgerald to the near side, Kidd. Kangas goes for too much. He knew it too. Or was it tipped at the net? It was not, so that point will go to Eagan, and now they've opened up a 4-point lead. And back to serve for Eagan, number 13, Dylan Punzel. And we do have a substitution taking a seat for the Wildcats is Preston Tanner. And I don't know who checked in for him. It may have been number well, let me see here. Meanwhile, the serve by Eagan. As they're closing in now on their second victory in this best of 5, but not until number 10, Benjamin Terry, gets that one to go for the Red Knights, and they're now within 3 with the serve, and back to service the senior Linus Struy. And late in game 1, he rallied off several points in a row. See if he can find that touch again. He gets to the back row to Liverseed. Now Rojas off the mark for Eigner, and now Kangas. He's going to get the return this time. No, Kidd fakes him out with a nice shot there as he found the soft part of the middle zone. Watch Kidd sell it, and he looks over, and no one there. Although the diving Eagan player might have gotten it if it hadn't been touched by the front row. Now Eigner. Kill shot, and Fitzgerald unable to handle that. Gives the serve and the point back to Eagan. They opened up a 3-point lead with 7 to go in game 2. You look at the replay, Fitzgerald just couldn't quite get underneath that, could he? Now number 9 to serve, Drew Jellin, the sophomore. Struy, Kidd to the near side. Terry dinks it in. Now Rojas, and in his way was Jellin. Now Eigner to the back row. Struy once again. He's been steady back there. Now Kangas goes for it. And they're going to give the point to Kangas. I thought he might have carried it briefly there. Let's just see. Right there. A little bit of a push there. Almost cupped it. Not sure what the rule is, but they give him the point anyway. It's 16-18. Terry with left hand. Kidd. Kangas has to play defense. Tried to find the soft spot. Didn't go deep with it. Now Eigner at the front, and it goes off and out of bounds. There's sort of these sticks that signify what's out of bounds right in the net. And now we have a timeout on the court, this time taken by Coach Luke Lopez of Eagan, as his team now has just a 1-point lead with 7 to go. Obviously that timeout to try to stop the momentum of the Red Knights as we get a chance to look at their upcoming schedule. So they started out with 2 home games. This is their second game of all time in their history. They started out losing 0-3 to Lakeville back on March 27th. This is their second home game and second game of the season. And now they'll go on the road for 3 against Prior Lake, Burnsville, and Hiawatha Collegiate. Not sure what that is. And then they'll be back home on April 17th. And ParkTV 16 Sports, it has been confirmed, will be here for that match. I will be here taking on ISM Chesterton. And then there's the rest of the schedule, at least through May 6th. They have 5 more games after that. But for the foreseeable future, for those keeping track at home or wherever you may be taking in our broadcast, first of all, we're glad you're with us. And now here we are as we are approaching the latter stages of game number 2. Back to serve for the Red Knights. Benjamin Terry gets it into Eigner. Now Jellin. Back to Eigner. His kill shot into the net. And the Red Knights have come back to tie it at 18. And a serve again opportunity for Benjamin Terry, the senior. And takes a little something off that. A diving save by number 13, Punzel. And there's a lack of communication, and there's that soft part of the zone. I think when you're playing volleyball, someone's got to be aware of that middle part at all times. And you had all 6 of them just sort of circling around the center campfire, and no one there except where to put the ball if you're an Eagan player, and they're back up by 1. Now to the near side, Kangas. He'll go to the back row to Eigner. Now Jellin to the far side, the big Liverseed, and the big hammer power, number 8, gives Eagan the 20th point. He is a big, strong kid. Look at that smile. There is no better joy. I've played a little bit of organized volleyball in my time as an adult, and it's a great feeling when you can cork off one of those big, powerful kill shots like Kangas tried to do, but his sailed long. He doesn't have the advantage of the height, and now a timeout by the Red Knights as they were tied at 18, but they've given away the last. Well, they haven't given them away. Eagan has been able to power their way to a 3-point lead with 4 to go and 1 minute timeout for Coach Michael Becker. And a smart one at that, to try to stop the momentum of Eagan. And again, this is significant because if you are a Benilde-St. Margaret fan of boys volleyball, they're looking for their first very win of any game at any time in their history, this being only their second match at home. And so far, we've seen all of their games here at ParkTV 16 Sports, and this is their best opportunity, their closest opportunity so far. They lost 3 last match. They've lost their first one here, so in their 5th game in their franchise history, for lack of a better phrase, in school history, I should say. But now they're gonna face maybe the best player on the court, number 24, the 8th grader, Gus Eigner. And his serve, just a knuckler, cross, back row. Now Kangas will look for the soft spot. Jellin with the save, back to Kangas. He puts it up to Kidd, and back to Kangas. He tries to bat it to the back row, he does. Now, and it's over and out of bounds. Point to the Red Knights, so another smart timeout by Coach Michael Becker. And now back to serve, the senior captain, Leo Kangas. Trying to claw back in this now late again. And he gets that one to go over, and the point. The gods are smiling on the Red Knights, it seems, as Kangas now, look at that smile. He'll take that luck. 21-20. Eagan, though, 4 points from the victory in game 2, putting them in the driver's seat of this match if they can get it. Now, oh, liver seat goes for too much. And it sails long. That's the problem. Boy, those things look like softball, and you really want to let it out, and you can go for too much. Now Kangas to the back row to Eigner. We're tied at 21. Now Liverseed, this time he finds a better trajectory, but he's still, oh, it did find in. Yeah, he made sure, didn't he? And that point goes to Eagan. I thought it may have sailed wide. Let's see here on the replay. You can see the trajectory much better. And they're gonna call that in. We couldn't quite catch that on the replay. Doesn't seem to be much of a protest from Benilde, though, on the bench. So we'll call that in. 22-21, back to serve for Eagan, Sawyer, Paquette. And Fitzgerald lets off a nice kill shot, but it's saved by the back row. Now coming up and going deep with it. Kangas can't save it, and that was a smart play by number 30, Zachary Rojas. He saw the opening, and watch him. And he had a neat little celebration at the end. You can see he went right to that back row. And now a timeout taken on the court, as the Red Knights are down 2, but Eagan needs just 2 to eke out the victory in game 2. Meanwhile, the Red Knights, if they can rail off 4 in a row here, they could sneak up and steal this game 2 right at the end, and a timeout for Coach Michael Becker. He's had success with all of his timeouts tonight. Following them, he's usually, I think he has the Red Knights scoring the very next point, and they definitely need to get that ball back and some points here as they are running out of time. As Eagan is just 2 points from the victory. All right, timeout over with. And we are about to find out whether Benilde can pull off the upset here in game 2. And back to serve for another point is Sawyer Paquette, the junior, with his coach, Luke Lopez, in the foreground. Now the serve, back row, Fitzgerald handles it nicely. Kidd back to Fitzgerald, and he took something off that kill shot, and it worked. As the front row of Eagan missed time there, block right here, just took something off of it enough, and the ball came over as that front block attempt was descending. Now Eigner in the back row. Red Knights looking to tie it. And into the net it goes. And we're tied at 23. And Benilde now just 2 points from their very first victory in school history. And back to serve is Jacoby, number 6. Gets it in. Now Jellin to Rojas. Kangas back row. Kidd back to Kangas from the back row. And it's going to sail long. And Eigner bailed him out. Now Liverseed tips it and finds pay dirt. And the 24th point belongs to Eagan, and now they are at game point and back to serve. Here's that replay as Liverseed finds that soft spot just in front of a diving Ian Fitzgerald. Now back to serve is Rojas. Back row, Kangas with the dive. Now Fitzgerald, kill shot. It looked like it was going long. Eigner played it anyway. Now Liverseed from the power position finds it, and the win goes to Eagan on the hand of Liverseed. So after 2 games of this best-of-5 match, Eagan leads 2-0. You're watching ParkTV 16 Sports as we step aside. Come on back for game number 3.
MS is a hard one to explain to somebody. In my situation, it's very invisible.
It's a daily battle sometimes. How am I going to feel today?
Walk MS is like walking into a world that you belong to.
Happiness, meet with other people who have MS, have a great support group.
The idea of MS and living with such a chronic disease can be scary at times. That day is just about being amongst people and seeing the hope.
You see 3,000 people come to say, we're going to fight this thing with you, no matter how long it takes or what it takes.
It's beautiful. It's like a sea of circles, never-ending love, you know?
We need the support. That's our support group.
A cure is on the line for me.
For me.
For me.
A cure is on the line for all of us.
Welcome back to ParkTV 16 Sports on location. We are bringing you live boys volleyball action featuring the Red Knights of Benilde-St. Margaret's taking on the Wildcats of Eagan. And our score after 2 games, Eagan leads 2-0 of this best-of-5 match. As we are about to begin game number 3, the Red Knights looking for their first game win of the year, and now they are up against it to avoid their 2nd consecutive sweep. But they have improved. They lost game 1, 25-21, 25-23 in the 2nd. Will they break through in game 3? I'm Robert Christensen, glad you're with us. We're about to set it up. I believe the Red Knights will start off with the serve as the referee in the foreground there, you can see with the sheet of paper, and now he is ushering in Struy with the serve. And he grabs the ball, and looks like it's going to go to Zach Kidd, the sophomore, to lead it off. There he is, number 9. We're tied at 0 in game 3. Eagan looking for the sweep and their 2nd match win of the year, and that big kill shot taken by number 9. Jelen goes long, and the first point of game 3 ends up with the Red Knights, and that kid right there is Zach Kidd, going for his 2nd consecutive point. Look at that big time serve by Kidd. Wow, now he steps up with the set and the kill shot by, who was that? Cameron Lee. Now Kangas in the back row. Kidd now behind the back to Terry, and it gets blocked at the net by number 17 for the point. Preston Tanner, number 17, there he is, enjoying that point. Terry kind of mistimed it, maybe on purpose, and the block at the net by Tanner, the junior, ties it at 1. Now back to serve the big Derek Liverseed. Now Eigner, back row Kidd, Kangas pushes it ahead to Terry, and he needed to get it over the net and was unable to do so. So that's too many hits on one side, results in the point for Derek Liverseed, number 8, there with the ball. And the serve with a 2-1 lead here in game 3. Low trajectory, nice return by number 13, Olin Ron, the sophomore who's checked in for the Red Knights, but he was unable to control it well enough, and it sailed out of bounds on the Eagan side, giving Eagan their 3rd point and a 2-point lead here in game 3, and Liverseed This times his jump serve into the net, gives the Red Knights their second point. And now checking in is number 20, Ian Fitzgerald to serve. Checking out, number 13, Olin Ron. His team down 1 point here in game 3, down 2-0 in the match. Now Rojas to Eigner, right in his wheelhouse. Struy with the quick hands in the back row. He's been very effective back there. And there is Kangas. Boy, he almost looks like he's palming that ball and throwing it, but apparently that's been deemed legal. Nevertheless, it did sail long. 4-2 though for Eagan, and back to serve is number 13, Dylan Punzel, the senior. And his jump serve, no spin on that. Good power, but Fitzgerald handles it nicely. Now Kangas, this time he hits it. Near side to Jellin with the kill shot, and Kidd can't handle it. Boy, there was a lot of pace on that shot by number 9, Drew Jellin. 5-2 our score. Eagan with a 3-point lead in the best of 5 with a 2 games to nothing lead, and back to serve Punzel. That one's in. Struy again on the back row. This time Terry able to save that without going into the neutral zone. Now to the near far side. Eigner blocked at the net by Cameron Lee. Now Kidd to the near side. Kangas can't dink it over. Blocked at the net. Point goes to Eagan. And they lead 6-2 by 4, their largest in game 3, and now on a roll from the service line is that man right there, Dylan Punzel. Takes a moment to look at the ceiling, as is his routine on the service. Another strong service to the back row. Now Terry with the left hand. I'm not sure where he was looking to go with that. Somewhere in the back row. Couldn't quite control it as it sails long, and now the score 7-2, and Punzel looks to his coach Lopez. Nice camera angle there, communication between coach and player, just keeping Punzel settled, and he took something off that one. He looks right to his coach. What happened there? He was doing well going to the back row, and I don't know why if it keeps working, make him stop you. Before you stop yourself would be the rule of thumb, but nevertheless, the point goes to the Red Knights, and back to serve Cameron Lee, the junior. Back row to Eigner. Now Rosas, and that kill shot sails wide out of bounds by Jellin. Rosas right to Jellin. Boy, skied there, able to hang, and no touch and out of bounds. 4th point to the Red Knights, and Cameron Lee for his second from the service line. Rojas to the back row, Liverseed, and he was off balance, leaning forward, and as a result, that ball sailed long. Balance in every sport is so important, including volleyball. And now Lee going for his 3rd consecutive. Back to Liverseed, kind of went off the back of his fingers. Now they got to play defense, and Eigner couldn't handle it. And now Lee going for his 4th consecutive point from the service line. And he's brought the Red Knights back to within 1 here in game 3, 6-7. And the serve by number 7. Eigner is going to get the return. No, they're going to go back to Liverseed, and this time he finds that nice hit at the apex of his jump, and great downward trajectory as Rosas with a nice setup there, wasn't it? And there this time, to underscore my point about balance, Liverseed went straight up there and everything worked out perfectly. Balance, again, the key. Jellin, back row, Fitzgerald. Now the shot taken by number 15, Oscar Baldwin, the senior, who's checked in for the Red Knights, unable to handle that as he comes in off the bench, getting his first minutes of the night. Just trying to find his sea legs, of course, and now back to serve again. Drew Jellin, the sophomore, jump serve, back row, Struy able to handle it. He's been magnificent back there, and now again an opportunity for Baldwin. Still looking to find his range, gives the Eagan Wildcats their 10th point, and a 4-point lead, and another service opportunity for that man, Drew Jellin. Back row, Struy gets it this time. Baldwin gets it over the net, and it sails long. And now another point for Eagan and their largest lead in game 3. And on a roll is that guy right there, Drew Jellin. To serve again, and this time he took a little something off of it. Looked like he was trying to just get that to the front row, maybe to Baldwin, who's been struggling. But he backfires on him and gives the 7th point to the Red Knights. They're down 4. Back to serve is Terry, Benjamin Terry, gets to the back row. Now Eigner out to play defense, and he can't quite handle it as he was backing up. And now the Red Knights have 2 consecutive points, and they're within 3 in game 3. And there's Benjamin Terry with the thumbs up. As he looks to the referee, yep, gets the okay, the whistle, and now the 1 bounce and the serve into the net. Gives it right back with an unforced error. And the Red Knights, if they're gonna get this first game win in their history, they've gotta eliminate those unforced errors. And now the jump serve by the 8th grader Eigner. He's been relatively quiet here in game 3. Now Kangas dinks it over and finds the soft spot as a diving Derek Liverseed, the big guy going to the ground, can't save it. And the Red Knights now back within 3, and Kangas with that nice shot will go to the service line with that momentum. And now checking out is Fitzgerald, and checking in number 13, Olin Ron. And now Kangas back to serve from the near side. The senior, number 2, jump serve. No spin on that. Now to Liverseed, and the kill shot. I think it went into the net. It may have been a block by Kidd as well, or a combination of both. Nevertheless, they deny the big Liverseed as he takes that set. No, that was a clean block at the net by Kidd and company along. And now the Red Knights within 2 as they are hanging tough in game 3. Kangas, back row, Eigner. Jellin now back to Liverseed, and this time that was a little bit back, and he reached up with nice balance and great downward trajectory right there. See, look at balanced. Good things happen when you're balanced in sports. And Eagan goes back to a 3-point lead, and that is now number 3 back to serve. Sawyer Paquette, the junior. Struy, nice back row bump. Now the kill shot, well done by Olin Ron, the sophomore. Now Rosas has to play defense. Struy to the front row to Kidd. And the kill shot again as the pass went to Ron, and this time he went for too much and it sails on him and gives Eagan, or was there an infraction at the net? I believe there was. No, yes, there was, and the point's gonna go to the Red Knights. So now they're back within 2, and Struy in to serve. Number 1, Linus Struy. His team down, oh, and a very unforced error. He knows he doesn't like that. Gives Eagan their 14th point. And those are those unforced errors when you're looking for your first win. Want to cut down on those at all costs, of course. Now to serve Zachary Rojas, back row Kangas. Sets it ahead to Kidd and to Cameron Lee, and he uses his height, and a great set by Kidd. Set up Lee well, and there he is. Just came up in a nice timing, and look at the balance that Lee showed there, right? Went straight up, found a nice trajectory. Now Kidd from the back row. The serve, Rojas, and the kill shot. That was a great set by Rojas to number 17, Preston Tanner, right at the net. Look at that. And he goes straight up with balance, and good things happen for him and the Wildcats. And they now are back out to a 3-point lead and back to serve. Big Derek Liverseed to the back row. And Lee will have to play defense. Eigner to Rojas. To Liverseed from the back row, and he finds nice trajectory there as well. Another balanced jump by Liverseed, and he's on a roll. And the Eagan Wildcats, let's see, was Liverseed, did he go straight up here? No, he was going a little bit forward, but he was able to get away with it. And now a timeout taken by Coach Michael Becker of the Red Knights, trying to stop the momentum, and an opportunity that will give us to discuss the upcoming schedule for the Eagan Wildcats out of the South Suburban Conference. And there you, indicative of burgeoning boys volleyball school sanctioned teams. There's 3 communities out western suburbs, right? The far western suburbs, Mound, Westonka, Orono, in Hennepin County, Waconia, of course, in Carver County, forming a single boys team. Then Edina, Lakeville South, who the Red Knights lost to just last week, 3-0. Then Shakopee at Prior Lake, Burnsville, Farmington, Eastview, all south of the river schools except for Mount Westonka, Orono, and of course the Red Knights and Edina. All right, now timeout over with for the Red Knights. Eagan now 9 points from the 3-0 sweep here, and back to serve number 8, the junior outside hitter, Derek Liverseed, with the jump serve to the back row. Struy. Really enjoy watching him with the ability to bump those back row serves. Now Rojas, near side. Over, now Kangas to the front row, and the kill shot taken by Ron. Well played, but defended well also, and the set to Eigner, and he goes long, and the point belongs to the Red Knights as that ball sails all the way into the corner, and now they go retrieve it. And substitution now, Fitzgerald will come in for Olin Ron, the sophomore who put in some good minutes and some good points. And now Fitzgerald, his team down 3, 16-13. Now Liverseed, and he ran into his own player, number 17, Preston Tanner. So situational awareness gets the best of Eagan. And the Red Knights now within 2, except for Fitzgerald into the net. Another unforced error by the Red Knights gives the 17th point to Eagan, and Eagan now just 8 points from the game and the match. And now back to serve, Dylan Punzel, who last game had very successful service, and now Terry has to play defense. Punzel with the bump to Rojas, now to Eigner from that outside hitting position. Fitzgerald able to save it to Kidd. Kidd now to Kangas, he goes deep. Saved by Liverseed. Now Rojas to the near side. Jelen with the kill shot in the block at the net by Kangas and Lee, and they were in the net. And the point will go to Eagan, 18-14. Looked like a good save right there. No, actually it was a good point. Great kill shot by Jelen and Eagan. And now to serve again, Punzel. And now defense, Kidd saves it. And a chance for Liverseed. Almost carried the ball there, I thought. And the kill shot goes long on Eagan's Eigner. And the point will go to the Red Knights, 18-15. And now back to Struy will step out. Checking in for him for the Red Knights, Oscar Baldwin, the senior. Another tall lad out there. And Cameron Lee able to get it over the net. Rojas to Liverseed from the back row, and they can play on off that I-beam. And that set up the front row, number 3, Sawyer Paquette gets the kill shot. And this was something that I was commenting on before. I've done dozens of girls volleyball matches, and sometimes it hits the apparatus here, and with these guys and so much power, it's gonna happen a little more. And there was a perfect example. And if it hits anything on the ceiling, they play on. It's considered in play. Now Kidd to Struy, to Terry, carries it over. 19-15 our score. Struy to the front. Baldwin tries to guide it, and it sails wide and out of bounds, giving Eagan their 20th point, and now they clearly are in the driver's seat. They have a 5-point lead with 5 to go in game 3. And back to serve is number 9, Drew Jelen, the sophomore. Terry bumps it over, sets up Eigner, and he deposits it with a kill shot. And Eigner was set up perfectly by Terry there, and a quick reflex, and now another timeout taken by Michael Becker. As it's do or die now for the Red Knights. They are down 6, and they need to rally here starting now after this timeout, and a chance for our viewers to look at the Metro West Conference, which is the conference the Red Knights are in. And one thing I should note, the program that we obtained here at the gymnasium has the Red Knights combined with Blake. So we don't have that when you go to Volleyball Minnesota Hub online, but it does say BSM Blake. I don't know which players are which. I don't recall seeing that when we broadcast their first game. But nevertheless, I do want to acknowledge that this is, I think, a combined squad between the Blake School and Benilde-St. Margaret's, at least in this inaugural season, as the sport hopefully gains popularity, which I'm sure it will. Meanwhile, though, this is the second match in school history for both teams. The Eagan Wildcats are undefeated at 1-0. They won their first match in a 3-game sweep, and the Red Knights lost their first. They're 0-1. Trying to hang in there in game 3, down a bunch. Kangas gets it over, now Jellin, and Rosas across. Kangas now to Kidd, goes to the far side. Terry lost his step there, couldn't get a lot on it. Now Terry delivers the point, and no infraction there as both officials looked at each other to ensure it, and Terry comes up big, and another good timeout by Becker. That was his first kill shot, and then it came right back to him, and he catches Eagan off guard, and meanwhile, that serve by the Red Knights sails long, and another unforced error gives another point to Eagan, and they are now just 3 from the match. And a 3-game sweep. Eigner, and that sails long. He gives the point right back, so there's still hope if you're a Red Knight fan. They're down 5 with 3 to go. The odds are against them, but now they've got their captain, Leo Kangas, at the service line from the near side. Lets that go to the back row. Punzel, nice job on the back row. Liverseed brings the hammer and the point. And now Eagan has their 23rd and their 2 points from the victory in game 3 in the match. And a 3-0 sweep. And there, speaking of threes, is number 3 for Eagan. Sawyer Paquette. Sawyer off his chest, it appeared. Kill shot, nicely done by Olin Ron. He's got a nice kill shot going forward, and now we got an infraction on the Red Knights. Baldwin appeared to be in the neutral zone or up against the net. The referee on the near side caught it. Another unforced error goes against the Red Knights, and now we are not only at game point for Paquette and the Eagan Wildcats, but match point. Back row sails long, and the back row lives for another day for the Red Knights. They stave off match point number 1, and now back to serve Struy as Baldwin will take a seat. And Struy to try to keep the Red Knights in the match, and a nice serve. Punzai goes low, now Rojas, the dig shot, he finds the soft spot in the zone, and he gets the victory as he kneels with that point. And the Eagan Wildcats win game 3, 25-18. In game 3, 25-23. In game 2, 25-21 in game 1. So for Paul Broden, our producer, and everyone connected with our production here at ParkTV 16 Sports, my name is Robert Christensen. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again. Have a great night.